I welcome you all to the postgraduate course Pushing the Surgical Envelope and Breaking Barriers. So, the first barrier could be entry itself. So, how to overcome that we shall be talking today. GenPoint, a new safe portal for laparoscopic entry in challenging situations. I have no disclosures. The objectives which we shall be talking about today is first to introduce the GenPoint as a safe and simple laparoscopic entry port. So if we look at this picture, we have this non-umbilical ports, the Li Huang, the Palmer's 9th intercostal space, and the other one we are showing here is the GenPoint, which is most lateral and the lowest. So we shall be discussing the rationale of its usage, to document the ergonomics of GenPoint, and to analyze the entry in challenging situations. The challenging situations could be the previous surgery cases, multiple with all types of bizarre incisions, large masses, extremes of BMI, the obese patients and the extremely thin patients, previous mesh hernia repairs, previous infectious pathologies, and abdominogenital tuberculosis as it is rampant in Asia and especially in my country. So let us see what is GenPoint. GenPoint lies in the left paraumbilical region on a straight line drawn 2.5 centimeters medial to the anterior superior iliac spine. And the basic aim when using GenPoint is to avoid the vessel viscera adhesion and bobble. So we have given this formula, wow. We first documented GenPoint in 2016 and our study showed that it was good in the face of multiple previous surgeries. The safety was documented. So the GenPoint entry aims at avoiding the major retroperitoneal vessels at umbilicus. So if we look here at the vessels of the anterior abdominal wall, the GenPoint lies at a safe distance, avoiding the superior and the superficial epigastric vessels. And as it is away from the umbilicus, it avoids the major retroperitoneal blood vessels at just beneath the umbilicus. So as umbilical entry has its hazards, so we at our center are routinely avoiding umbilicus as a first primary blind entry and making it from the paraumbilical port, that is the GenPoint. All our trainees, fellows and consultants are making the entry in a similar manner routinely, so that once they are faced with challenging situation, it is no different from routine, and that's why it becomes easier. So let us see what is the rationale of the GenPoint usage in previous surgery cases. If we see that GenPoint lies at the level of L4, and on the left side, all the viscera, namely the spleen, the kidney, and the stomach, they lie up to the level of T10, T12, and the sigmoid colon adheres at the pelvic brim. So there's a large nascent area from T12 to the pelvic brim where there are no viscera and no adhesions. And we have found this area to be consistently free of any bobble adhesions. And more so, as GenPoint lies about 10 to 13 centimeters from the umbilicus, it avoids the central and the truncal obesity, and also because of its location in the mid-abdomen, it avoids the scars of which are in the scars and the adhesions of upper abdomen. So these are the few cases we have shown. This patient had a surgery in the first week of her life for ectopia vesicae, and then she had multiple surgeries and presented to us with endometriosis. And when we made entry with the GenPoint, we found there are so multiple loops of bowel over everywhere. And another case of septicemia, when we made entry with the GenPoint, we saw that the bowel was almost plastered as if it is the second layer of the abdominal wall. Now this case, which I am showing you here, she had a long vertical incision for subacute intestinal obstruction. in which she developed some complication and a colostomy had to be done. And then by a transverse scar, a colon pull-through was done. So there were multiple drain sites and crisscrossing whole abdomen adhesion. And we were very wary how to make the entry. But we made the entry with Genpoint, and we saw that all over the abdomen, there were loops of bowel hanging from every corner. There were omentum and bowel adhesions, and practically everywhere except the left paraumbilical region, which was found to be free of adhesions, and we proceeded with her complete definitive surgery. So let us see what is the exact technique of Genpoint entry. The very needle is inserted in an exactly perpendicular direction. Secondly, there is no need to lift the abdominal wall. First, pneumoperitoneum is created and the 5 mm telescope is introduced. And under the vision of the 5 mm telescope, a 10 mm 30-degree scope is entered according to the mandate of the case. So now the technique of Genpoint entry.
Patient is laid in dorsal lithotomy position. The Genpoint is located in the left paraumbilical region. To locate the Genpoint, we have a prominent pony landmark KSIS, the anterior superior iliac spine. Then we go 2.5 centimeters medial to ASIS and draw a vertical line up to the level of umbilicus. The point where these two lines meet is the Genpoint, which is about 10 to 13 centimeters from the umbilicus, making the first blind entry point safer as regards to major retroperitoneal blood vessels and bloated stomach. Now varus needle is inserted at Genpoint by making a nick of 1 to 2 millimeters. The needle is inserted absolutely in vertical direction. It is important that abdominal wall is not lifted so that insertion is simple and uniform. At Genpoint, the surgeon feels two pops. The first is when needle passes through external oblique muscle aponeurosis. Second pop is heard as needle passes through fused aponeurosis of internal oblique and transversus abdominis muscle and then give of resistance as varus reaches the peritoneal cavity. Then pneumoperitoneum is created after confirming intraperitoneal entry and varus needle is removed. After this, a 5 mm trocar is inserted at Genpoint. And then under the vision of 5 mm telescope. Ten mm entry point is optimized, taking care of bowel loops. In video it is clearly shown that a lot of bowel adhesions are seen directly under the umbilicus, whereas the Genpoint area is found to be consistently free. Being lower and lateral in location, it becomes the main working port in due course of surgery. Genpoint can be used in contraindications of Palmer's point, like bloated stomach, upper abdominal scar, hepatosplenomegaly, and large upper abdominal masses. Easy insertion technique without changing angle makes it reproducible by novice and expert endoscopists alike. Genpoint entry is an endeavor to make laparoscopic entry simple and safe.
And moreover, we found that the mirror image of Genpoint from the right side can also be used. So this can be, we have used it in a couple of situations. And there were previous drain sites, a previous colostomy, previous burn marks, and the urologists have been using it from the right side when they are doing the nephrectomy, pyroplasty, and ureteric surgeries on the right side. So it also is a very good, can be used in the upper abdominal scars like the chevron incision, this crisscrossing incision, and this large incision from the epigastrium to the pelvis. Like we have seen that whenever there are scars going into the upper abdomen, that the Palmer's point could have the loops of bowel. So this is our tally of the surgeries which we have done. It's almost about 7,600 cases. And almost 1/3 of the cases have had previous 1 or 2 or maybe even up to previous 6 surgeries, and we found it safe in our study period. So this large upper abdominal scar we documented and was published in JMIG, in which we had used the GEN point, and the Palmer's point was found to be densely adherent with Bowden blue. So now we would just like to discuss a new entrant versus a trusted champion at the Palmer's point, which has been used with great safety features all over by surgeons, gynecologists, and urologists. But there were few differentiating features we would like to show you over here. That GEN point has a single prominent bony landmark, whereas for Palmer's point we have two, that is the mid-clavicular line and then the subcostal margin. And due to the anatomical location of the liver, Palmer's point cannot be used from the right side. Then it is contraindicated in previous scars coming into the upper abdomen. There are other contraindications also which we have highlighted earlier, and GEN point does not carry any contraindications. Furthermore, Palmer's point becomes more or less redundant after the first entry, whereas the GEN point continues as the main working port in due course of the surgery. Then in this article, H.T. Sharp also opines that GEN point is lower and more lateral in position compared with the Palmer's point, so may therefore be more easily used as the main operating port throughout the surgery. Then the next aspect to be discussed is the ergonomics. So as GEN point is about 10 to 13 centimeter away, and the distance between these two ports is 10 to 12 centimeters. So it gives a good azimuth angle, good elevation angle, which are congenial for good working, stress-free ergonomic working. So these conditions are fulfilled, and we can make a nice suturing spell. So whatever we do, all the surgeries, by making the first entry point is this. And if we see here, these are the two laparoscopic needle holders, and there's no any difficulty in working over long hours. And we do routinely a lot of suturing in big masses, as we'll come to into the next part of the talk. So now GEN point entry in thin patients, which is a challenging situation and carries always the lingering fear in the mind of the operators about the major retroperitoneal vessel injury. So as the GEN point entry moves away from the umbilicus, and then by the virtue of a good muscle tone, it gives a very easy entry. So this is a tally. We had about 400 cases of thin patients, out of which almost 70 cases had previous surgeries, either by laparoscopy or laparotomy. And we documented and we have published this article very recently in gynecological surgery. And if we see here a thin girl, a young woman with a very prominent anti-SOPI-like spine, and we are making an absolutely vertical entry, whereas if we had entered from the umbilicus, there was a need to angle it towards at 45 degrees towards the pelvic basin. But here the entry is easy. And because of the good muscle tone, the pops are very easily heard. And the Veress needle after insufflation is removed, and with a screwing action away from the umbilicus makes a easy, confident entry. And by trans-illumination, we can easily avoid the other ports by avoiding any injury to the abdominal vessels. So this is the port placement for a big mass. So now we show the usage of GEN point in a flabby abdomen. Another lurking fear that this abdomen, almost like a half-set pudding, the umbilical entry could be fraught with, if it overshoots, it can give rise to any injury or laceration of the retroperitoneal vessels. So again, in this patient with previous 2 cesarean sections, now for myomectomy, we first make a small nick at the GEN point. After delineating the point clearly, by looking at first focusing at the anterior superior iliac spine, then making the surface marking, and here we make the entry again by screwing action, and very carefully we sort of stabilize the entry with the other hand also. And once the entry has been confirmed, then we introduce the 5 mm telescope, and in this abdomen, when the 10 mm telescope is introduced through the umbilicus, once it is done under the vision of the 5 mm, it makes easy entry, and then the gen point port becomes the upper working port to carry out the myomectomy and the suturing. So that is the ergonomic position achieved for the surgery. Now, another challenging situation could be obese patients as the world obesity increases. So again, we make our entry routinely by this port. So firstly, it avoids the truncal obesity, and then the cases are associated with previous surgeries also. These are the points in favor. Like in obese patient, the distance of umbilicus to the peritoneum could be almost 12 centimeters. So we need a longer Veress needle. But if we go in a straight line with a very long Veress needle, again the lurking fear of retroperitoneal vessel injury. So, and we just move in the paraumbilical position. And secondly, what I feel is that here we do not lift the abdominal wall, whereas for obese patients, once we are doing from the umbilicus, the assistant and the surgeons both practically have to lift up the abdominal wall, and some irregularity or the irregular forces could be applied. So going laterally from the umbilicus makes an easy point for obese patients. So here we'll just show, and if we look at our tally of our cases, almost 1,000 cases had a BMI above 30. And in all of these entries for the last decade, we have been following purely gen point entry in all our cases. So again, and this patient had a previous coccus incision, gallbladder surgery done. So without lifting, one step, single direction, hearing the 2 entry pops, and then the 5 mm telescope entry. And most of these cases had all types of scars, the vertical coccus, McBurney's, and the entry was easy. Now, another aspect that we use a lot of these days, as you see in this particular case, such a huge abdominal mass. So here, even the Palmer's point has the risk that we could make a direct hit at the cystic mass or inside bleeding by hitting a fibroid. So we are just pushing the mass a little to the lateral side and making entry through the gen point. And here, if we see that this is, we go paraumbilical outside and with a Veress needle. So at times we have made the entry from the right side mirror image if the mass is arising from the right side, from the other side. So this is a tally of the large masses. As you see here, we have done a lot of big masses going above more than 2 kgs, also were about 11 in the TLH group and 20 in the large myomas. So once we make this, and in the face, here for this case, the 10 mm is going almost into the Xiphi sternum. And many times nowadays, we have to make another port for the traction of the myomas also, almost and the same point, just lateral to the 10 mm telescope port. So these days, as everybody is crossing the boundaries, doing more and more bigger and bigger surgeries, so entry is definitely a challenge in such situations. So this is a case of a previous mesh hernia repair, and by dictum, by convention, once we are faced with a situation of a previous mesh repair, we have to keep the ports outside and above the previous mesh. So we have to very keenly study the previous mesh size and how it was applied. So this 48-year-old female, 75 kgs, she had previous 3 sections and then she had a burst abdomen for which it was repaired by these big tension sutures. As a result, later she developed hernia, which was repaired by open laparotomy, and now she requested us for TLH. So we could make our entry by Gen point and avoided getting into the mesh and avoided all the horrible adhesions inside. So now the last difficult situation could be previous infections. Like I had already said, that it could be genital tuberculosis, that rampant in many Asian countries. You see here, it's a generalized schiziomas all over, and it's almost the heart pulsating we see over there. And in all these cases, as you see, this is the liver, the supradiaphragmatic and infradiaphragmatic, making the Palmer's point entry could also be challenging. And other cases like these TO abscess or a cold abscess in genital tuberculosis, all of them have extensive adhesions, making entry by the upper abdomen difficult. So the left lateral port, that's a Gen point, could be used in such situations. So if we discuss about our results, we have tabulated them in a study as a novel universal non-umbilical entry port to avoid the vessel, viscera, adhesion and bowel, a study of 7,624 cases, and a study period of almost a decade gives us the opportunity to improve and modify our technique in routine and increasingly challenging situations, and at the same time addressing that the technique becomes easy for beginners and expert endoscopists alike. So we found that there were no injuries to the superficial or deep vessels of the anterior abdominal wall. There was no vascular injury of the retroperitoneal vessels, and definitely we had one small bowel injury in a case of Cox abdomen. If you see here, she had a transverse incision in the surgery was done in her pediatric age, and definitely it was a transverse incision almost into the Gen point. We did get an MRI done which showed there were no bowel loops, but probably the report was not too accurate, and we went straight into the loop of bowel, which was repaired by a mini lap incision. And in a long-term usage, we found that there was no hernia at the Gen point site and there was no hematoma formation. So we find that it is most easily learned and reproducible by most trainees, fellows, and it has a short learning curve of about 5 to 6 procedures. And we have documented it over a decade in several live surgery workshops, which has given a wider appeal. So it is being used now along with general surgeons, urology colleagues, and oncosurgeons, apart from gynecologists. And other innovations like a direct trocar entry has also been suggested. For in our usage, we found it a little more versatile, as the mirror image can be used from the right side, can be used for upper abdominal scars, and later on becomes the main working port. And we really do not have to recourse to any visual entry ports or any special trocars for this purpose. We use our routine trocars, and it is a simple insertion, and especially I feel it is a great tool in previous surgery cases, as we did not find, and it was more easily, like it was applicable for mid-abdomen, lower abdominal and upper abdominal scars, and avoidance of hollow viscous injuries all through. So we penned our experience of the non-umbilical, all the non-umbilical entry ports in this textbook, and we like to use the formula VAB to avoid the non-umbilical entry, which is the newer concept, to avoid the vessel, viscera, adhesion, and bowel. So in conclusion, if in my practice now, if I love to share my experience, I would say that in challenging situations earlier, when the whole night we used to be wondering from where to make the laparoscopic entry, now after a decade of experience, with primary entry by the GEN point, we hardly have stress related to the primary entry in any challenging situations. A simple, easy insertion, when used in a routine manner, prepares the surgeon to use it with ease even in challenging situations. So these are my acknowledgements, my fellows and my consultants, and these are the reference. And thank you for your very kind listening.